there, Betaverse! Welcome back to another episode of b8ta TV. My name is Jai, and as always, I'm coming at you from Boston, Massachusetts. And today we're going to be talking about e-bikes. One e-bike in particular called the Roadster V2 by a company called Ride1Up. E-bikes are kind of, it feels like really electric vehicles in general, from scooters to skateboards to bikes. They seem to be all the rage right now. And honestly, that's because they're super efficient. So you can use much less energy, go a lot farther, faster than walking, go from point A to point B that you can't really get with public transit or anything, right? It doesn't cost as much as a car. Many reasons to get on the, electric bike, electric scooter, that whole scene. But electric bikes are really a great investment. So this one in particular is really, really great for commuting. And part of the reason why it is because it keeps things simple, straightforward, sleek, and, kind of easy to use, right? So, and it's super lightweight as well. So with this, it's, it has all the battery parts and everything kind of built into the machine itself. So it's not like super obviously when you look at this, you don't like immediately think, oh, that's an e-bike, right? Which is really what they're going for with this guy. And I want to start off just by talking about, the e-bike classes, right? Cause that's important to understanding kind of, what the world of e-bikes is about. So there are 3 different classes. The first class is, it offers pedal assist up to 20 miles an hour. The second class is, and these are classes according to kind of laws and regulations, just that are in place pretty much all across the country, although it varies state to state, but generally. The second class is a pedal assist up to 20 miles an hour, but it also has a throttle, which allows you to move without having to pedal. Whereas pedal assist it gives you that little extra boost every time that you pedal. So you still have to put in the energy, but it will let you go much farther per pedal. And then there's a class 3 e-bike, which has a pedal assist up to 28 miles an hour. So it's kind of a bigger, can go a little faster, right? So the Roadster V2 is a class 3 e-bike, so it has no throttle to it, but it can go up to, this one specifically can go up to 24 miles an hour just with the pedal assist. And the pedal assist is on a level from 1 through 5, so you can really kind of vary how much, how little. You can turn it off completely if you wanted, and you could be able to kind of pick and choose how much help you want on your bike ride. So when we're thinking about these classes of bikes, the main thing you want to think about is kind of what the regulations and the rules are where you live. Like I said, it depends on, the city, the town, the state, wherever you are. Look up your local laws. I know, in Massachusetts, but specifically, class 3 e-bikes are not allowed on anywhere basically that there's usually going to be pedestrians. So in parks and trails and sidewalks, just because it does go so fast, and obviously we don't want people to be in harm's way, right? So this is meant more for roads, or maybe things that are designated as bike paths, but places that only bikes are going, or roads where cars might be, is also a possibility. But nowhere where a pedestrian might be. So make sure you look up your local laws before you get too deep, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. You're not gonna, you're going to know what you can do and what you can't. All right. So like I said before, what's great about this is that it's so simple and sleek, and it kind of just looks like a normal bike, with, a few added features here and there. But, with a lot of e-bikes, they're heavy. They have like a huge battery jutting out. They kind of, some of them look borderline motorcycle-y. You know what I mean? Like, where's the line? But these guys, Ride1Up really wanted to make this one sleek and simple. So we'll start out with the frame, right? So they come in 2 different sizes. There's a large and a small frame. So with the small frame, that's for anybody who is 5'2" to 5'7", and then the large frame is anyone from 5'7" to 6'2". So that kind of gives you an idea of how the sizing would work. I'm 5'7" exactly, and this is the small, and it felt pretty good on me. Honestly, there was a moment where I was like, I might want a little bit more room, but then the more I rode, I was like, maybe this is okay. So it really does vary, depending on how you feel. If you're right in that middle, like I am, that 5'7" point, but for the most part, you can really fit it to your needs. And it also comes, so this is a silver color, but it also comes in black and red too. So some nice looking colors for you. So this is made out of aluminum alloy, so they try to keep it super lightweight. The whole bike itself is only 32 pounds. And that's kind of what really makes it great for, you know, simplicity and sleekness sake. Because even if you had, you know, say it ran out of battery for whatever reason, and now you just have to ride it as a normal bike, that's not a problem, right? Because it's only 32 pounds. It's not going to weigh you down like one of those heavier bikes is going to be. Whereas, you know, if you ran out of battery on one of those, it might be a little bit more of an issue. But with this guy, not as much, which is really nice. And you can see the electric parts are all integrated. So the battery is actually right in this stem. You see it's a little, you know, thicker than your average bike, right? So this is where the battery is. And there's a little section down here where you can actually charge up your battery. So it's super easy, super simple, keeps it nice. And there's a little LED display up here, which I'm going to show you in a sec. And then there's also a belt drive, and this back here is the motor. So you see, all the parts of the electric bike are there. They kind of hide it for you, which is nice, especially, you know, in Boston. I feel like bikes are being stolen left and right, at least in my neighborhood where I live. So it can be nice, you know, e-bikes are definitely a hot commodity. So if you want to be a little more low key, it can have an added benefit there as well. And it also has a 275 pound weight capacity, just to keep in mind if you're thinking about it. So yeah, so now we're going to move on to, you know, the good stuff, if you will. So back here is the rear hub motor that this bike uses. It has a 500 watt peak. 500 watt peak. Sorry, I don't want to be out of frame, but I want you to see it too. 500 watt peak and a 350 watt sustain. So peak is like in one moment, what's the maximum output that it can give, you know, power wise. And then sustained is obviously over a course of a period of time, how much can it give, kind of in an indefinite amount of power. That number is 350 watts. And like I said before, there's no throttle. So it's all the pedal assist, right? So every time you pedal, depending on what level you are, it's going to give you more and more of a boost, but you can't, you know, just go for it and just go and not have to pedal at all, right? So that's something to keep in mind too. It has a 20 to 35 mile range, depending on, you know, how heavy you are, how fast you're going, how much pedal assist, what the terrain is like. You know, hills are always a factor, right? And that it takes about 2 to 4 hours for it to charge up. So not too bad at all. Definitely do that, you know, after your commute, come in, plug it in for a couple hours, be done with it, right? And what's also nice about it is they try to make sure that the motor is really quiet, which also kind of adds to that simple, easy, sleek, quiet electric bike idea that they're going for with this one. So motor's super quiet. And then we're also thinking about the belt drive, right? So the belt drive right back here, this is what's replacing, you know, what the chain would be on like any other, you know, kind of, you know, typical bike, you could say. What the quintessential bike is in your head usually has a chain, right? So instead this has a belt drive. The belt drive is nice, kind of once again contributing to that quietness. It doesn't clank around the way that regular chains do. It also much lower maintenance, so you don't have to lubricate it at all. It doesn't rust. It's just, you know, the plastic, right? And so it's kind of, you know, not pretty easy to take care of. And it also has a longer life than those metal bike chains do. Once again, because of things like rust and being out in the rain, obviously. So that belt drive addition, I mean, it's important for the motor itself, but just having that, it can also have a lot of added benefits as opposed to a chain of some kind, right? That you would find in a normal bike. And you know, just keeps things really simple. The other thing I want to show you is the LED display, which is right up here. So it's really small. So once again, kind of keeping with that slick, simple look, right? So the on button is at the top here. Here, let me make sure I'm on frame here. The on button's at the top here. So if you press that, hold. There we go. So now it's on. I think you can see that. So right here we have 0, 0. That's how many miles per hour we're going. Right under here, 0.9 miles is how much we've ridden on it already, which is not a lot. We just kind of rode it around a few times in our little courtyard here. It'll show you the battery level, and this is off right now, but down here, there are actually arrows. So if you press up, then that will add how much pedal assist you have. So right now it's at 5, but you can do 3, you can do 2, you can do 1, you can turn it off completely if you wanted to. And then there's also a button directly under the screen, but above the arrows. And this one will kind of change and give you some more stats. So this is how kind of long time-wise you've done it. So this is 12 minutes. And then we'll also tell you average speed, max speed, how many miles, all that kind of stuff. So it gives you lots of good stats, which are kind of fun to see, kind of know how far you're going over time, how fast you're going, all that important stuff. So, but once again, you know, this thing is super duper small, right? It's super slim, very non-intrusive, and it's, you know, obviously right next to your handle, so really easy to get to if you need to do any messing around with the pedal assist or anything, right? So yeah, that's the LED display. It gives you a lot of great info. And then, so that's kind of all like the, you know, the fancy cool parts about this bike. The most is kind of, you know, obviously there's a seat, there's some wheels, there are brakes, you know, like any other bike, right? But I did want to mention Ride1Up specifically, if you're thinking about like support, you know, with any bike or any big investment, right? Especially something like something you're using to commute, which is going to be really important for your day to day. You're probably going to be wondering about like support, servicing, that kind of thing. So Ride1Up actually has an online knowledge base. So you can always go on there, see anything that you need, ask any questions that you have to figure out, you know, if something goes wrong, which, you know, hope not, but, you know, as with any bike, sometimes things get old, wear down, or things like that. But yeah, so they have that online knowledge base for you to check out if you need it. And then they also kind of have a little list going of different mechanics in different states that have kind of familiarity with the Ride1Up in their bikes. So that's also kind of a place to look if you're looking for like bike shops that might be able to service your e-bike. And then if, you know, your state isn't on there or something, they're always expanding it and asking people to like update them as they, you know, discover more and more people who are familiar or getting people familiar. But if you don't have a list on their website, then you can take it into any bike shop that, you know, is willing to work on e-bikes, which is, I feel like, a good chunk of them, most of them. And if they need any specifics, any questions, they can email Ride1Up at support@ride1up.com. So it's like really easy to get support, get servicing if you need it. Go on the online knowledge base, anything you might need, you can get it taken care of. So it's not an issue there. Yeah, so once again, if you're thinking about an e-bike, some really good reasons. If you're commuting, great. This is a great commuting bike. Keeps things easy, keeps things simple, can take you 20 to 35 miles, get you where you need to go, bring it back. Really simply, you're not going to be all sweaty when you get to work. You're still going to, you know, if you still want to get a workout in, put it on pedal assist 1, right? And it'll probably save you a lot of money in the long run. What makes Ride1Up specifically a really great company is that they try to make things super accessible. So this bike is only $995, which, you know, I don't know how much you know about e-bikes, but that's a pretty good deal. Just having, you know, this quality, this level, this range, in an e-bike for, you know, under the, you know, in the sub 1,000 market, is really, really nice. And so this company is really committed to trying to make this method of transportation as accessible as they can to whoever might need it, because it really is such an efficient, easy, you know, environmentally friendly way to get around. And they think, and I also think, that it can improve a lot of people's lives. So they try to, you know, make it an affordable price point when they can. And once again, that stealthy and lightweight look. The stealthy look and the lightweight feel is really nice as well. It can really pass as like a non-electric bike, right? But yeah, so I will say if you go on their website, and they also have a little thing where if you pledge to replace 5 of your car rides every month with your bike instead, you can get $40 off. So that's pretty simple, right? And then we also have they have a partnership with us at b8ta, where if you go online and purchase the Ride1Up or the Roadster V2, you can get $30 off using the code b8ta powered. So that's b8ta POWERED, b8ta powered. And if you use that, you can get $30 off. So there you go, right there, $70 off. It's basically $900, right? I took some money off there, but basically, right, round down. So yeah, I would say it's definitely, worth the deal, especially if it's going to be saving you money in car maintenance, gas, and, taking the T every day, all that stuff. I pay $90 for a T pass every month. So I feel like if I had this thing, I'll probably go down a significant amount, right? Save me quite a bit of money over time. All right. Yeah, that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you're looking for an e-bike, here's one to look at. And go check out the other ones on our website too. We have several different ones, and they kind of, they all have their perks about them, the things that make them unique specifically. If you're looking for something with longer range, maybe you don't want the, sleek look or something like that. If there was something that would better suit your needs, go ahead and check out the other bikes we have on our website, because we got a few. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Check everything out. Come hang out with me in Boston. I'm in Seaport, by the way. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.